But that's why you have to have a heart for it.
That's so true.
If you don't have the heart for people and you're in there just because of the money, you will not last long in a career. Or maybe after you've been in there for 1 year, you'll be miserable. That first year will be miserable. After that, you'll be looking for something else.
Something else. So what is like, one thing, the general public sometimes, especially in countries that are, third world countries, and sometimes we have shortage of things. Like in my country, we might have shortages of, staffing, resource in general, staffing, equipment, supplies, when it comes on to taking care of patient. And so the public tend to have a negative, view, or they might have their own perspective about nurses in general, depending on where you go. What is one thing you wish the general public knew about, the work that nurses do? As I say, everybody has their own opinion and their perspective, but what is that one thing you think you want persons to know about what nurses do in general? Because, a lot of times
I know a lot of people who are not nurses, right? They think that nurses get paid a lot of money, right? Like, oh, you're a nurse? Oh my goodness, you're making all that money. No. In reality, nurses are underpaid compared to the job, compared to what they do.
That's so true.
Okay, and if you ask me, I feel like nurses are underpaid.
I think so too. So too.
But they expect you, the people above you, expect you to do so much that sometimes I feel like, or in reality, like unrealistic. They have unrealistic expectations of nurses, right? And sometimes, and nursing is not like a luxury.
No.
It's not like a luxury job. There are times where I feel like sometimes at work, I feel like, the way this family member treated me, I feel like a maid.
I know that feeling.
I'm like, I went to school for 4 years and I have a bachelor's degree in nursing, and this person does not even have a GED and talking to me and treating me in this manner. Like, I'm like, but that's why you have to have a heart for it.
That's so true.
If you don't have the heart for people and you're in there just because of the money, you will not last long in a career. Or maybe after you've been in there for 1 year, you'll be miserable. That first year will be miserable. After that, you'll be looking for something else.
That's so true.
So you have to have a heart for the job. I don't know, but getting paid a lot of money is relative. The pay is good compared to maybe other professions in the medical field, but compared to the amount of work that you're doing, it is really underpaid. The pay is really little compared to the amount of work and compared to the expectations that the people at the top, the bosses, have of you. And it's not a clean and easy job. It is a really dirty job. Sometimes, while being there at the bedside, you wish you could just quit the job right now at this very moment. So when you're going into nursing, you have to have the heart for people. Go in with the right mindset. It's not just about the money. Go in because you have the heart to help people. If not, you wouldn't last in the career. You're going to be very miserable and very unhappy.
Okay, that is so true. That is so true. It was last time we were talking about the same thing, regarding persons going in the field for different reasons. And it's the same thing we're saying where, if you don't have a heart, if you don't have a passion for what you're doing, nursing or whatever area, you're in, then you might end up, disliking the job itself, not giving the best care, or you might end up just being sad and lonely about the whole, just sad and, miserable in your duties, in your job itself.
And you can even translate that unhappiness and bitterness to your family and
Mm-hmm.
carry it out on
Uh-huh.
your spouses or your children at home who have no idea what you're going through at work, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So on that note, where do you see yourself, in the next 5 years from now? So you're still doing regular, just being an RN right now, doing, your cardiac and everything. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
5 years from now, hopefully I'll be out of the bedside nursing. Like, I wouldn't be doing bedside nursing full time anymore. But right now, I have already started doing like home infusion nursing.
Okay.
And I already obtained a master's degree in nursing informaticist.
Congratulations.
So I'm looking to get a job in that area, so where I'll be able to work from home, fully.
Okay.
So it's just that the job that I'm seeing right now the pay is really not great, which is the reason why I'm still doing the infusion nursing. So in the next 5 years, I hope to be able to like transition fully out of bedside nursing and be able to land a good paying
remote
job as a nurse informaticist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. That sounds good. Well, I do hope that, I will get a chance to talk with you some more regarding your new job, or a little bit more about the nursing infusion.
I'll let you know how it goes. I said I will let you know how it goes, but so far I'm loving the home infusion nursing.
Okay. So, do you want to expand on that a little bit, or you don't have much time?
Oh, yeah. I can tell you about that.
Okay. All right. So, talk.
So, they give you a patient workload, So you have your patient assignment, and they have a software where you document. You can access the software on your phone or your tablet or your laptop, wherever you downloaded your app on. So once you log in there, you have a list of your patient workload. And the good thing about it is that you don't see this patient like every day. You see them for instance, like for 3 or 4 days, every 4 weeks or every 8 weeks.
Okay.
So when you go to the patient's house, you insert the peripheral IV and then infuse the medication. It could be Remicade, it could be IVIG. Mostly, the one that I'm giving mostly is IVIG. And the pump is already pre-programmed from the pharmacy and sent to the patient's house. So you don't have to do anything to program the pump.
Oh,
All you
wow.
have to do is you just hit repeat therapy and the infusion starts. So it increases. After 15 minutes, the dose is programmed. The pump is programmed in such a way that the dose increases every 15 minutes.
Okay.
So with every increase in dose, right? With every increase in the dose, you have to take vital signs. So you take a vital signs before getting there for your baseline, and then at the start of the infusion, and then 15 minutes after, which is 15 minutes after when the dose increases, you take another vital sign. So it continues until it gets to the maximum rate.
Okay.
So when it gets to the maximum dose, you then take vital signs every hour until the end of the infusion. And the infusion lasts anywhere from 4 to 6 hours.
Wow.
So so once you have a patient assignment, you'll be the one responsible for seeing that patient like every month on a monthly basis, or every 8 weeks, depending on what the patient order is.
So
they've also been instances where they've sent me out of town, out of states to go see patients, and it gives me the opportunity to travel, so I like it.
Okay. So they reimburse you for
they pay for your flight, your accommodation. They reimburse you. They even while the time in flight, they pay for it as well. They pay for your accommodation, right? And then rental car for all your expenses for traveling, you get reimbursed for.
Okay.
In addition to your hourly rate.
Okay, that sounds good. So
Yeah.
when you're, because you said about 6 hours, so you literally have to sit in that patient's house for 6 hours
Yes. Yes.
and do
Yes.
the infusion.
Yes.
Okay. So whenever you
Yeah,
have
because you
like,
have to have an eye on the patient during, like, for the entire duration of the infusion.
okay. Did you
Yes, I
have to
have to
do
monitor
like,
for changes or any adverse reaction to the medications that is being infused.
okay. So you do have like a medication emergency kit that they bring you,
Yes, yes, they
um,
have an epi pen,
pen?
an epi kit, and they have an emergency
Mm-hmm.
kit in every patient's house. So by the time you get there, before they start an infusion, you have to make sure that it hasn't expired
Mm-hmm.
and all the emergency medications are in there
Mm-hmm.
before you even start the infusion. Yeah.
Okay, so those are at the house. You don't walk with
Yes.
anything. Okay, good,
Mm-hmm.
good, good. Did you have to do like any certification to do that?
No,
No?
no.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
okay. Pretty sounds pretty
No,
decent.
they don't require any certification at all.
So what about like acute care? Do you need acute care training, or
Oh
if
yeah,
you're
you
in?
have to have experience, like acute. Yeah, you have to have like some hospital experience and be very good at starting IV,
Mm-hmm.
prefer IV. Because there was one time I had a patient. Normally, if your infusion is to last for like 3 days or 4 days,
Mm-hmm.
you can leave your peripheral IV in for that period of time, for like the 3 days or 4 days. But there was one particular patient that I had that had me remove the peripheral IV at the end of each infusion. So because he was working, he had to go to work
Oh,
the
okay.
following day, so he couldn't go to work with an IV in
Mm-hmm.
place.
Mm-hmm.
So every time I went to the house, I had to put in a new IV, and I had to take it out at the end of the infusion for that day. So
Okay.
you have to be very good with starting peripheral IV to be successful as to be successful as an infusion nurse. Yes.
So what about those patients who have like, difficult veins that sometimes we have to use the vein finder? How do you manage
Um,
those?
I don't know if the company would not provide that for you.
Okay.
So I think they said they have vein finders on Amazon. I don't have one myself yet. I haven't encountered those yet.
Okay.
So yeah, but I was told that they sell vein finders on Amazon. You have to go there with your own blood pressure
Mm-hmm.
machine,
Just the
your own
items that you do for
thermometer,
home health.
your pulse oximeter, all of those things, your own stuff. The only thing that they take to the patient's house are the supplies like the IV start kits, the medications, the IV pole, and the pump. And the medication, I think most of them have to take pre-medication before you get there,
Mm-hmm.
which is Tylenol and Benadryl. So
Okay.
that's kind of help reduce the risk of any reaction.
Okay.
So that most times before you get there, before we come, we call them like a day before.
Mm-hmm.
You go there and let them know, hey, please take your medication an hour before I get there, because I'm going to be at your place. We try to give them like a range of time, like a time range.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be there between 12 and 12:30. So please take your pre-medication at 11.
Okay.
So that way, it gives you time to kick in before you get there.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So in terms of, so I know you said sometimes you'll do overnight, you'll go to another location to see
Yeah, but you don't
patients.
sleep in the patient's house too.
Mhm.
Even though you're going overnight, the company reserves a hotel for you.
Okay. So what
Yeah,
if
you
you,
don't ever sleep in the patient's house. Go ahead.
okay. So what if you go and you definitely cannot do an IV? You have your vein finder, because sometimes we do experience those in the hospital, and they definitely need an
Honestly, I
ultrasound.
don't know what you would do at that point.
Okay. Will
Because
they?
I have personally never. I'm pretty good with starting IVs.
Uh-huh.
So I really don't know. And it's something that I just started doing
Okay.
like middle of this year, like
Mhm.
sometime in May.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been pretty successful with all my IV
Please.
starts. So I don't know I don't honestly do not know
Okay.
what would, like, if they have any
Like, persons that can do
person
ultrasounds
that you
or
can contact to
Mhm.
come help you start an IV when you're not able to start one. I'm not sure how that goes.
Okay, and whether or not they
Yeah.
would pay you for that visit just the same, whether or
Say
not
that
you
again?
can. So what if, so I know you say you haven't, had any situations where you're not able to cite your own IV, but is it a
Yes.
part of the contract where, say, for example, they fly you, to another location and that patient is a really hard stick. You can't do the transfusion and or the infusion, and you're not able to get an ultrasound IV. The day has ended. Do they go ahead and still pay you for that day, even though the patient hasn't gone the infusion, or not?
That question I don't have an answer for because I haven't
You haven't.
experienced
Oh,
it
okay.
yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes before they send you out
Mm-hmm.
to the patient, when they've given you information on that patient, they always state patient reports difficult heart stick.
Okay.
Patient states it's an easy stick.
Okay.
So they'll let you know. So that will, I think, to give you time to prepare, or so that way you have an idea of what you're faced with,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've really never had a situation whereby I'm not able to start an IV. Because if I'm not able to start an IV on the AC,
Mm-hmm.
I mostly will more than likely be able to find one at the back of the hand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Most times, if I can't find anyone at the forearm, I'm like, most of the time I'm able to find one at the back of the hand. So I think that's the reason why I'm successful.
Mm-hmm.
But some people, they want to stay away from the back of the hand. They always want to start at the
In the AC.
So I know with the AC, because the veins are very deeply
Mm-hmm.
seated, it's really hard to find them. Sometimes you miss them. You can hit a vein and then
Mm-hmm.
end up blowing the vein.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
And there's no restriction as to where you start the IV. As long as you find a vein that you know you'll be successful,
Mm-hmm.
you just go with a vein. Pick a vein that you know that will give you
Will work. Mm-hmm.
an increased chance of being successful.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what I do. So I guess that's the reason why I haven't encountered any difficulties yet.
Okay, nice. And then the final thing I want to ask you, or for you to share with us, you have persons who are interested in nursing. You have those enthusiasts out there, and in general, what is one thing you could actually share with persons as a form of motivating them and encouraging them? Because at times we hear persons saying that, oh, I work at this hospital and it was awful and they quit in nursing, and that's a lot of thing that is trending online now. What can you say to persons who are thinking about nursing right now?
Okay, if it's really something that you want to do, don't be discouraged because of what people are saying. One person's experience might not be your experience.
Mm-hmm.
Just because a lot of people have had bad experiences in nursing doesn't mean your experience is going to be bad as well. No.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's what you really want to do, pursue your dreams. And there's so many things you can do with nursing.
Yeah.
If you get a nursing job and you're in a hospital and you don't like it, you can try another hospital.
Mm-hmm.
You can try another department. If you don't like the adult ward, you can go to pediatrics. You can try the pediatric department. There's so many. Nursing is so versatile. It's so diverse. There's so many things you can do in nursing.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't even want to work inpatient, you can work outpatient. You can work at the clinic. There's so many things, like I said, you can do with nursing. So just because some people are miserable in a career doesn't mean that you will be miserable.
Exactly.
Just experience nursing for yourself and make decisions based on your experience. If you've tried it out and you find that what they don't like, you actually like it, you can say it's going to be a different story for you.
Exactly.
But when you try it out and you find out, hey, I don't really like this area that I'm working in. I'm working med-surg and I don't really like med-surg. I want to go to mom and baby. You can easily transition to mom and baby. Or I want to go to NICU. You can easily transition to NICU. Or I want to go to PICU, which is the pediatric ICU. You can easily transition there. So there's so many things in nursing that you can do. And you might find that you end up finding something in nursing that you like and you enjoy,
Yeah.
instead of just getting discouraged because of another person's experience.
That's so
So
true.
don't get discouraged. Don't give up. Give it a go. Get into it and explore the different possibilities, the different options that you have available. And then after you've exhausted all the options that you have
Then you
available,
can.
you still don't like it, and hey, at that point you can then quit nursing. But
Exactly.
just don't quit because of another person's experience. No. We all have different experiences, and our experiences are unique. They're unique to us.
That's so
Their
true.
experience might not be your experience, so don't give up on your dreams.
That's so true. And it's especially here in the US, where you have so many locations that you can do nursing. You can go to urgent care, you can go into home health, you can go in the hospital. There's so many different areas to practice and experience it, and then you can make your decision.
Botox nurses too that just do nothing but administer Botox shot. The aesthetic nurses, right? The nurse esthetician, something like that.
Yes.
Which is a very clean job. Clean environment. You don't even have to clean poop, I'm telling you.
Exactly.
Very clean environment, stress-free. You can work in such places to work with a plastic surgeon,
And
so,
I spoke with a young lady the other day on my first presenter on the show, and she actually does transport nursing. And I never really hear much about that. It is, just like when you have the school nurse.
Yeah.
So she works on the bus. So she assists, the patients that are, or she works along with the children that needs like medications and all. So she's a nurse for them. So she really doesn't do anything.
Cool. I've never heard of that either.
Yes, and she is making, I think, about $75, $85 an hour.
Wow.
In New York. So I was like, whoa. A lot of persons probably thinking that bedside nursing is it, but you have so many areas to explore, because I never really know much about that one. So as I say, it's always good to explore and at least experience it for yourself and then make that decision.
Like me, I got tired of bedside nursing. That was how I eventually ventured into home infusion nursing, which I absolutely love. So try it out. And if it's not working for you, look at other options. Look at what other things in nursing that you can do. There's so many of them.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to share with us before we go? Do you have any social media or anything that you want persons to find you on if they want to have a talk with you or anything?
Active. I'm not really a social media person.
Okay.
I'm very introverted, so I'm not active on social media. No.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Sorry, not at this time. I'm going to eventually, become social. I'm going to eventually get on all the social media platforms. But for right now, I don't have one.
You don't? Okay. Well, Pretty, it was really nice, sitting down and listening to you, sharing your story. And I know a lot of persons out there, are inspired, motivated by, just how you went about and pursue your dream in becoming a nurse. Started out with all of those science courses. Like, I was sitting here, amazed by the fact that you were able to do so many credits, and then from then, you were only able to use a certain amount to do nursing. So and I know definitely I don't really like the science courses, so to hear you talk about it, it's just a wonderful story that is. So I really want to say a big thank you to you for coming in and sharing that inspiring story with us, and sharing some valuable insights into the world of nursing, or your world of nursing, to us. And so, for persons out there, if you do enjoy the conversation that we had here today, I would love for you to go ahead, and like, share, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and just remember to give the video a thumbs up. And, go ahead and leave some comments down below and just tell us about your experience with, nursing. What area are you in and how is it going so far? And if you're interested in sharing your story, feel free to go ahead and text me on the number in the comment section below, and then from there we can have, you know, you on the show here at the Think Nursing channel. Until then, I want to say a big thank you to Pretty, and thank you so much for watching this channel. And please remember to, you know, subscribe. You're welcome, Pretty. You're welcome. You're welcome. I do appreciate you taking the time out. All right.
You're welcome.
All right. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I do hope that you will have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.
All right.